Hi everybody, it's DelusionDispeller, and today on How to Heal, I will be talking about some of the techniques that I used after the narcissist left me. And hopefully this will help you gain a better ground of who you are in recovery. Okay, so in typical recovery programs, you're usually taught to make a list of amends and go make things right where you can with the people that hurt you or you hurt or whatever. Go do something good for the person where it's safe to do so. I'm going to go a different direction here, and I'm going to encourage you to do something that's safer and healthier in the case where a narcissist is involved, because any of you that have dealt with narcissists know that if you go back and apologize to them or say you forgive them, that is simply really negative narcissist supply, but also a narcissistic injury, which will result in narcissistic rage against you. So, the typical things you're taught in recovery do not work with every single person or type of person. So I'm going to give you something else that you can do today. Number one, journal. Every feeling, every hatred, every bitterness, every feeling of love, every disappointment, every disillusionment, put it all out on paper and either throw it away after you write it down and you've read it several times and you re-experience those feelings and you embrace those feelings. And then after that, gradually let go. Or you can keep it and read it back later. It's up to you whether you want to burn it, stomp on it, run it over with the lawnmower, the car, whatever, or hold on to it and use it as like a journal to read back on and say, wow, how far I've come. Everybody's different. I've done it both ways. I've burned things. I don't think I've ever run anything over with the lawnmower, but I think I've dumped things in water, torn them up into little pieces, definitely crumpled them, stomped on them, that kind of stuff. And I've also held on to journals. In fact, I have journals to this day that I've held on to from different relationships and stuff. So it's just a matter of what you want to do. Obviously, don't let anybody that you wouldn't want to find it get a hold of it. I've done that too. That didn't result in anything pretty. So anyhow, that's the first step, is you want a journal. I always insist on journals with every one of my clients and everybody that I talk to that asks me for help. Get it out on paper. It's very important. If not on paper, do another thing that I do and record it. Get your phone out, because you can have a phone recorder on most phones. Speak into it all the feelings you're having. I mean, literally everything. I hate you. I want to kill you. I'm just so mad. I can't believe you ran off with her, my best friend, or whatever it is that you're feeling. Get it out there. And then delete it, throw it out, whatever, or keep it. Next technique, the chair technique. I've talked about this in some of my older videos, the ones where I'm holding on to that red book, How to Break Your Addiction to a Person. Well, here we go again with it, because I think this is a really big technique that helped me through a lot of pain from the abuse in my childhood by my stepdad, especially. And I used it with a couple boyfriends, but mostly just with my stepdad situation. So you're going to get a photo. You probably have at least one that you kept to remember, to cry over, or to use as a dartboard, whatever. Put it on a chair, any chair. If it's their favorite chair that they used to sit in, all the better. Anything that reminds you of them. If you don't have a photo, maybe a teddy bear they gave you, or whatever reminds you of that person that you love and who abused and deserted you or hurt you. Then what you're going to do is you're going to yell at it, you're going to scream at it, you're going to tell it how you feel, how it felt to be betrayed, hurt, abandoned, replaced, whatever. Then you are going to tell it, I release you from any blame. You don't owe me anything anymore. I refuse to take on any feelings about you anymore that you've either put on me or I've put on myself. And then you're going to move on, and you're going to be way better than they ever experienced from you. In fact, what I did when I did this exercise is I thanked the person for basically leaving me. They did me a favor, because what they did was they made room for the person that was supposed to be in my life. So think of it that way. When the narcissist or the abuser moves on, they did you a favor. They got out of the way for the person that was meant to be there. Okay, so the next thing you're going to say is, I'm doing this for me, not you. I don't have to answer to you anymore. You don't get to control me anymore. I get to control what I do and say and experience. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the photo down, remove it, put it away, whatever, and go do something else. Don't think about it anymore. Just leave it there. It's incredibly cathartic, and it will help you get an extreme release most of the time. Okay, the third technique, I call it the time to mourn technique. We talked about this a little bit in videos that I did recently, but I'm going to get a little more specific. First of all, what I want you to do is make sure you have a notepad out, and you're going to label columns. What I'm doing now at the top of one of them, the next column, what I'm feeling, then what I'm thinking, what I feel like doing, what I did, and how I feel. And you're going to be journaling again, and you're going to do this several times throughout the day. Anytime you start thinking, oh, I usually call them at this time, and you're so used to it, you want to call them, write it down. What are you doing right now? I'm making lunch. What are you feeling? I'm feeling like frustrated and anxious, like I have to call them. What are you thinking? Like I want to call them, I have to. What do you feel like doing? I feel like calling them. What did you do? I called them. How do I feel? Bad, guilty, ashamed, but glad, and yet I feel like I've gotten more of the same treatment. We're not getting back together. It didn't turn out the way I wanted. Or maybe you didn't call them. How do you feel now? I feel great. I feel like I've made a step in the right direction. Just keep doing this, and eventually you will automatically kind of graduate out of the process and stop doing it because you'll realize you're okay and you'll have healed enough. It takes some time, but go after it. Okay, so then you're going to get a stopwatch, a timer, something to keep track of time. Set it for 15 minutes and begin remembering all the bad memories, the good memories, and the things you miss about the person, the relationship. And after that 15 minutes is over, after you're done journaling, what you're going to do is, if you did give in and you called the abuser or the narcissist, don't beat yourself up. Don't you dare beat yourself up. It happens. It happens to every one of us. We run back. We think there's something there we're missing, and maybe if I just did this differently, it'll turn out differently, but it rarely ever does. So ask yourself what the result was from what you did. If you didn't do that, if you didn't call them, contact them, whatever, be relieved and tell yourself to keep on doing what you did. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a hug either way. It's all a learning process, and it is a process. It takes time. Either way, whichever happened to you, whatever you decide to do, after you're done with these techniques, go do something else. Get your mind off of it. You're going to allow yourself a little bit of time to go there, and then the rest of the day, go do something fun. Go to a movie, call up a friend, go have tea, whatever you do. Go for a burger. These are just a few of the steps that I took to heal after the narcissist left me. And it started out almost robotically, like a ritual. Like, okay, it's this time, I have to write this time. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? But after a while, it becomes very natural, and then you don't even need it anymore. You just realize you've met somebody new, or you've gotten involved in something different, and your mind just automatically switches. Because it's all about those neurotransmitter messages. You've trained your mind in the period of the relationship with this person to think a certain way. That at 12 o'clock, she always calls me. Or on this day, we always go out for a root beer float, or whatever it is. And now what you're doing is you're basically retraining your mind to form new memories and new things that are going on in your life. Now it can be, on Tuesdays I pick my daughter up and we go for French fries. On Sundays I go to church with my uncle. Whatever it is. But it's new messages in your brain, and you'll begin to heal. You'll see. Thanks for watching. God bless.